Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are taking a really close look at one of the top programs out there for data science, the MIT Sloan Master of Business Analytics. We're going to break down everything: who gets in, what you actually learn, what it costs, and of course, what your career could look like afterward. So let's get right into it.
This is probably the biggest question on your mind if you're serious about a career in analytics. This field changes so fast, right? So how do you not just keep up, but actually get ahead of the curve and become a leader? Well, it takes more than just being a technical wizard. You need this really special mix of deep analytical skills and a sharp strategic business mind.
And that right there is exactly where MIT Sloan's program comes into play. Their Master of Business Analytics, or MBAn, is built from the ground up to forge that next generation of data-driven leaders. So let's walk through it together and see exactly how they pull it off. Okay, first things first. Who are the people you'd be in the trenches with, learning alongside every day? Because let's be real, the people in your cohort are just as important as the classes, and MIT Sloan is incredibly deliberate about building a talented and diverse group. The class is pretty intimate, just 130 students for the class of 2025. And what that means is you're not just another face in a giant lecture hall. It's a really tight-knit community where you're going to know your classmates, collaborate deeply, and build a serious network. And that community? It is truly global. A full 60% of the students are international, coming from 22 different countries. Think about that for a second. That kind of diversity isn't just a number. It means you're getting all these different perspectives and ways of solving problems right there in the classroom with you. Now, as you'd probably guess with anything from MIT, the academic level is, well, it's intense. The median undergraduate GPA is a 3.92. That tells you straight up that you are going to be surrounded by some seriously bright, motivated people from all over the world. So what did these folks study before? Well, take a look at this breakdown. A huge 87.5% of the class comes from a STEM background. We're talking science, tech, engineering, and math. This really shows that the program is built on a very strong technical foundation. It's designed for people who are already comfortable living in the world of data. All right, so we've met the class. Now, what in the world do they actually do for those 12 months? Let's take a look at how the program takes that strong technical background and builds on it. Okay, this is the centerpiece of the whole experience, the Analytics Capstone project. And let me be clear, this is not some theoretical homework assignment, no way. This is a 7-month-long project where you're paired up to tackle a real, live, complex data challenge for a major company. This is where the rubber really meets the road. The whole program is a whirlwind, a super fast-paced, intense 12-month journey. It all kicks off in the fall with some really tough core classes. Then, January is for what they call the independent activities period, a time for specialized projects. The spring semester dives into more advanced topics, and it all leads up to the summer, which is dedicated to that full-time capstone internship. You blink and you're graduating in August. And the curriculum? It's absolutely cutting edge. I mean, you're taking classes like machine learning under a modern optimization lens and intensive hands-on deep learning. But look at that last one, from analytics to action. This is so key. They make sure you don't just know how to build the models, but you know how to actually get them implemented and drive change inside a real company. It's all about that balance between deep tech skills and practical business application. And that focus? That's exactly why people choose this program. Just listen to what Mark Sauda from the class of 25 had to say. He chose it because of its strong emphasis on applying advanced analytics to real-world problems. It's that direct link to industry that makes it so powerful. Okay, let's talk about the practical side of things. A program this elite is obviously a major investment. So let's get into the numbers and break down the cost. So, for the 2024-2025 school year, the tuition is $91,250. Now, that's a big number for sure, but it's really important to see it as an investment in yourself, especially when you think about the resources, the network, and the career outcomes that the program delivers. So, how do people actually pay for it? Well, MIT Sloan has a bunch of different pathways. There are merit-based fellowships for top candidates, and there are also competitive teaching and research assistantships, which give you both experience and funding. After that, students usually use a mix of things like loans, their own savings, and sometimes even sponsorship from an employer. Now, this is a really important point to be aware of. There's a difference in loan options.
If you're a U.S. citizen, a permanent resident, or an international student who has someone in the U.S. to co-sign, you have access to a pretty wide range of loans. But for international students without a U.S. co-signer, the options are a bit more limited. And that's a key thing to plan for, especially for the 60% of the class coming from outside the U.S.
Which brings us to what might be the most important question of all. What's the return on this massive investment? Let's talk about careers after graduation. Let's talk about the payoff.
And this first number is just wow. For the class of 2024, a staggering 97% of graduates looking for a job got an offer within 6 months of graduating. I mean, that stat just speaks for itself. It screams how much demand there is for these graduates and the power of that MIT brand.
And the financial return is just as strong. The median base salary for that same class was over $136,000. This shows you the immediate, tangible value that top companies place on the skills you get in this program.
So where are they working?
Well, the list is basically a who's who of top companies across every single industry you can think of. You've got the tech giants like Amazon and Palantir, the big consulting firms like McKinsey and BCG, and even some really cool, unexpected places like the NBA. It just goes to show how versatile this degree is. These skills are wanted everywhere. So, we've looked at the student profile, the intense curriculum, the cost, and those incredible career outcomes. All of this brings us to one final, really important question. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This program is an accelerator. It's for people who already have that strong quantitative foundation, but are ready to step up and not just be a part of the data world, but to actually lead it. The data is clear, the road is tough, the investment is real, but the transformation and the opportunities that come with it, they're undeniable.